use. So now it comes up here. I'm going to select this and then go select camera. I'm going to go for the fully automatic setup first. And let me adjust. And first of all, we'll check the target setup. This is a neat feature. It doesn't check for that everything, but it checks for. Now let's hit start. It goes into live view, so you'll see a picture. And it looks like I'm pretty close to the center of this thing. You can hit target search here. And if I was off, it would come in here and tell me to move one way or the other. I'm not going to do that. With that done, we'll stop the target stuff. And now we can go in and start the calibration. That gives you some information about the target distance. Canon recommends a certain target distance, and I don't always pay attention to that because I like to cal the distance where I take most of my shots. And this is about that. Sometimes I take it a little bit closer. I like to do high focus areas of something close with a diminishing distant background. So what it's doing now is it's going through and automatically changing the autofocus micro adjust, and it'll go through checking a bunch of different points. Now if I don't move the camera, don't shake it, and if the lights don't change, it should go through all these things without saying it needs to run more test things. Okay, so now you see it has enough points to say it's probably going to be around 0. Now it's going to tighten up where it's checking the micro adjusts. Like originally it might have done 10, -10, 0, 10, 20, and now it's probably checking the 10 points just around that 0 point. Okay, so it finished the test and it said the micro adjustment should be 0. You can see the difference between the two shots. I'm going to say yes to this. It automatically switches it for you. Now just looking between these two shots right here, I can't really tell which one's sharper. The other cool thing here where you can actually see some of these differences, there's analysis info. And actually I could have had this on during the test, and you can see these are kind of quality of focus. I think what they're measuring is some measurement of the degree of brightness. As I said in the log, the sharper or more in focus their design target is, the more whiteness will come through, the less gray, gray being because of the out of focus areas. And so you can kind of see, they try and see if it fits a curve with a maximum point. This one wandered up and down quite a bit, but still looked like the predominance of highest brightness values, therefore greatest sharpness, is right up in around here, and that's why I came up with that. Now with the lens align system, I had set it up around -2, and you can see how it probably wasn't too far off. The other thing you can do with this is you can save a report. Okay, so here's the report, and it gives you data on the camera and the lens. Then you get to see the pictures at each micro adjust. I think this is just great for your records. The other thing that this thing does is we want to have other tools, so we close this thing out, show tools. you can check the aperture sharpness. You know, there's a sweet spot to any lens. Well, now you can know the sweet spot for your specific lens. And I changed the focal length to 48 millimeters for this. So I'm guessing, you know, I'd like to take most of my shots between 5, 6, and 8 on f-stop. Let's see if it comes up to that. I just use that as kind of a general rule for most of my lenses. Okay, so the best aperture for the mid-range on this zoom is roughly around 4.5, so it's a little bit lower than what I would have thought. The other interesting thing in the tools section is consistency, and this has to do with the camera. We know the target's set up already, and I'm just going to take the default settings. It's the other thing I didn't mention is for the micro adjustment stuff. There's several adjustments you can make depending on how much error you want to put into it, how much time you have to do the test. And for me, the most important thing is to have the best sharpness I can have. Well, and that's the other thing about sharpness. You can go through all this trouble, and you'll see on this consistency test that it's going to change. That it's going to take 10 shots, and you're going to see roughly 10 different quality of focus points. The moral of that story is when you're taking shots of anything important that you want to capture, make sure your lens is calibrated. Make sure you have your focus point on what you're taking your picture at, and have the right speed and everything. And then one of the important things we learn here is take a bunch of shots of it. So you can see there's a variation.